The East End of London is a special place. It's bordering the Square Mile as well as Hip Shoreditch and is home to a rich mix of Georgian and Victorian warehouses, the famous Spitalfields Market and iconic Brick Lane. With this, it embodies what for many people London is all about. A blend of old and new, with blue and white collar and a melting pot of cultures. And at the interface of all of this is Norton Folgate. To understand the project, let's first rewind and have a look at the site history. Originally used as a Roman burial ground, the site later became the home of Priory of St Mary's Spital in the 12th century, which makes it a scheduled monument. Later, the area attracted silk and textile industries, bringing with it construction of warehouses and the railway, and by the late 19th century, much of the area we see today was shaped. Then, throughout the 20th century, the area gradually fell into a period of decline.
Despite the derelict state of the site, the locals are very passionate about this part of London. And so our client, British Land, along with master planners, AHMM, had to plan extremely considerately around the historic context. The existing building stock, some of which had fire damage or serious structural failure, was thoroughly assessed, and we retained as much of the existing structure as possible. The development ultimately consisted of 6 buildings for commercial and retail use, integrating the existing fabric to various degrees throughout. To give each building a distinct flavour and blend into the East End patchwork, 3 more architects were brought on board: Stanton Williams, Morris Company and DSDHA. Given the complexity of the site, we face challenges left, right and centre, but let's focus on the most interesting ones.
Fleur-de-Lis Passage creates a conundrum for the basements of Nichols and Clark to the right and Blossom Yard behind me, as they're only metres apart if built separately. So, to maximise value in space and eliminate 2 duplicate retaining walls, we propose combining the 2 basements. But under the passage runs a critical data network for the financial businesses of Broadgate, and rerouting wasn't an option. So, how do we bridge this problem? Actually, quite literally. Our solution was to suspend the services in situ over the new basement excavation in a hanging gantry by encasing the ground below containing the surfaces in a steel sarcophagus, and excavate around it while the basement is built underneath. On all 6 plots, there are retained elements of a historical fabric, creating a myriad of interfaces between the old and the new structure. Here, on Blossom Yard, we had to connect the new concrete framed block to the retained warehouse, and we introduced a new 4-storey steel columns, which are hidden in the completed scheme, but are threaded delicately through the retained building. On the warehouse, we also had to replace much of the timber ceiling. This required the use of a bloodhound to sniff out rot in timbers. On the adjacent 1886 warehouse, we've retained the masonry piers and tied them into the new steel frame behind, and this now sits as one of the iconic faces of the development. Nichols and Clark includes the 1887 warehouse, which was generally in excellent condition. Here, we only strengthened the existing roof timber trusses with new steel brackets that we designed to blend into the historic character. On Elder Yard, much of the existing stock was in a poor condition or unsuitable for reuse, and was replaced with a new concrete framed block. But we kept a series of the terraced warehouses that contained offices, and here we were able to reconstruct part of the existing roof structure and blend it into the old timber frame. We were also able to save 2 of the existing facades, which have been meticulously restored and give a lasting insight into the original buildings. The facade of 15 Norton Folgate was so badly damaged that the team decided to take it down completely, keep all the bricks and build it in exactly the same way. Where the face of a brick was worn down, it was simply turned around. The results of this are really quite stunning. Here, at the back of the old wash houses, facing the courtyard, we retained a number of chimneys, which wasn't straightforward, as it required an intricate arrangement of temporary works to suspend them in the air whilst the basement was built underneath them. 16 Blossom Street includes the site of a popular pub here at this corner. While most of the terraces had to be substantially rebuilt, we were able to keep much of the corner building.
Throughout the project, everybody involved was dedicated to maintaining the existing character of the fabric, and this is really evident as you walk around the whole development in every detail. Norton Folgate demonstrates how to successfully blend contemporary design for today's building users with historic fabric. And we have absolute confidence the reinvention of this neighbourhood on the fringes of the city will allow the buildings, new and old, to endure at least another century.